My dear, you bargain for it. Hey, Lord, this is not what I bargain for. This is not what I bargain for. What then do you bargain for? What happened to our relationship? What happened to heart connection? What happened to that time you used to talk with your brother and sister? Husband and wife, what happened to that time you used to hold hands together, to walk in the streets, to walk in the park, to walk around seeing what is happening in your vicinity? When last as a family do you sit down with your children to know what is going in their life? Instead, what you did is that you leave them in the school of social media to be trained by social media. Because if you don't train them, the social media will train them. Yes, you are not available for them. Social media is available for them. And guess what? When they come back with social media training, you say, God, this is not what I bargained for. This is not what I bargained for. What then do you bargain? When last did you sit down with your children and say, tell me what is going on in your life. Tell me how your school is going. Tell me about your spiritual life. Tell me about your emotional life. Is there anybody disturbing you in life? What about this? And have that heart-to-heart talking with your children. As a family, when last do you sit down and say, this one, you will read the word of God. This one, you will lead us in praise and worship. This one, you will lead us in interpretation of the word of God. I remember when we were growing up, 8 o'clock, I look forward to 8 o'clock in the evening, because that is when we sit together as a family to watch one drama from the TV channel. When last do you sit down and watch a drama with your family in the TV channel? Everybody is busy scrolling up social media, searching up. Do you know one funny part of it? We now connected in social media and disconnected physically. Instead, you are busy flipping your social media and your children is busy flipping their social media, and you say, God, this is not what you bargained for. My dear, you bargain for it. And some of you say, what God joined together, let no man put asunder. May I tell you that you are the one that putting asunder in your relationship with your spouse. You stayed in office for 8 hours, in your business place for 8 hours. You come back, instead of you to sit down to connect with your family, to know what is going on in the life of your family. What you did is you pick up your social media and start flipping it. After flipping it for 5, 6 hours, 3 hours, you go to bed and you come back and you say, what God joined together, let no man put asunder. You are the one putting asunder, because you don't have time for your family. Can a spouse, husband and wife, stay in a house, in a room for 3 hours and they are not talking? Instead, they are busy talking, they are busy chatting in the social media. What kind of asunder is more than that? It's already an asunder. Asunder does not mean when somebody use knife or use axe to come and separate husband and wife. If social media can separate you, it's already an asunder. May I tell you this, if you don't graduate yourself from the school of social media will never graduate you, because the beautiful one are yet to born. There are so many beautiful things coming on social media. That's why I want to encourage you as family. It is time for you to disconnect yourself from social media and connect yourself with families. Imagine siblings. Siblings doesn't talk to each other again. What they use is that they use emojis, they use thumb up, they use like to reply themselves. Someone will be in the living room saying, I am depressed, and someone will use the same sibling, and someone will use emoji in the same social media and reply, and the other one will use emoji and say, this is how one they find me, and the sibling will reply. What happened to our relationship? What happened to heart connection? What happened to that time you used to talk with your brother and sister? Husband and wife, what happened to that time you used to hold hands together, to walk in the streets, to walk in the park, to walk around seeing what is happening in your vicinity? Now what everyone do is go to social media. Many families, many children are addicted with something, but parents don't know, because neither the husband nor the wife know what is happening. Everybody is busy in the school of social media. May I tell you, if you don't disconnect yourself from social media will never disconnect you. You will keep up pumping something in your timeline, in your in new feed, in everything for you to see. So it is time for you to disconnect yourself from social media and connect yourself to your family, because family exists before social media. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.